we were going to talk a little bit about Amazon because there's been lots of news this week and a much talked about change of policy in how it's going to approach working with brands and distributors. So can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Absolutely. So last week, Amazon started rolling out a change in policy where they've been cutting ties with some distributors on some brands, with the aim of dealing directly with them to control costs and keep prices low for customers, so they say. The move from Amazon to deal directly with brands who already have a sole distributor isn't something new. All my 15 years of working in distribution, I've seen this happen countless times. When a brand gets to a certain size, there are benefits for both brand and Amazon to deal directly. And even sometimes they'll keep that distributor left in place as a secondary source of supply for a period of time. It's still quite early days, I'd say, in the development of this. So there's likely to be quite a few different scenarios and varying levels of impacts on brands within that.
And Amazon obviously talk about they're doing this to the benefit of the customer. And what benefit would this provide to a customer?
Well, benefits wise, I'd say I'd talk about more in the way it's going to impact. I'd say for some brands, nothing's going to change as Amazon will continue to source products from wholesalers and distributors if they are the brand owner. And I say that because there are two scenarios. If you're the brand owner, if you have Amazon brand registry, so this is one of Amazon's tools they have in the background that have been around for a long time. And so if you've got brand registry, that's one element, or if you've been added to the brand owner's account as a distributor. And in some cases, we've heard that a letter from the brand owner to Amazon confirming that official distribution for a certain territory will suffice. But I think we're going to hear more as the weeks come on in certain scenarios, but that is far one side or far the other side. But I think that's one route. So for those who already are, that'd be fine. For other brands, this could mean they could be a smaller size. This would mean they could either be approached by Amazon to go direct, agree those terms, and be provided with a vendor account to supply product to Amazon warehouses, manage their catalog, logistics, advertising, and quite a lot of the rest themselves, which could be quite eye-opening. And for those not approached by Amazon, they'd be looking at setting up a Threepipe seller account. So working on Amazon's marketplace. So there's a few options there of how you supply Amazon, through FBA and other channels or customers directly. But they'll be working on Amazon's marketplace rather than, supplying in the same way as they would have done through a distributor. So I'd say there are pros and cons on both of those sides, for the vendor and seller side, and quite a lot of admin involved, with additional charge fees and blockers for non-compliance. So if you've been working with a distributor who has been supplying you these value-added services for some time, this might come as quite a shock and need significant new resource and skills in place. But I'd say, you talked about benefits before, I think on the flip side, you could be gaining more control and visibility of all aspects of this, alongside potentially more margin there that you've been passing through a distributor to invest in your Amazon business, which might be a blessing in disguise during a potentially tougher year to control those costs and invest in the places you want to.
So if you're a brand right now, what would you recommend they be doing in the next week?
In the next week, I would say being as close as possible with your distributor to find exactly what stage they are in that conversation with Amazon. I think that's the first thing to do. So then also having an eye on that alternative route. If you know you are an emerging brand, you're probably not in the top tier of that distributor's brands, potentially you should start looking down that seller route. And I think that's where I think there's potentially lots of benefits there, but I think there's quite a lot of work to be done on that side. So I think it's keeping your eyes open on your distribution partner, along with that second eye on what your alternative options are there in both the seller and the vendor route, whether they are options for you.
And is this announcement for the European market, or is it global at this stage?
This is European market. The global market in the US, distributors are a bit rarer beasts in the US. So they've moved far down that seller route a long, long time ago. So this is more European.
Okay, brilliant. I think that's a great summary, and I'm sure we'll be back when there's more announcements that come down the road from Amazon. Thanks for your time, Andy.
No problem at all.